Hey LinkedIn, something I talk a lot about when I'm on the phone with prospects and we're talking about their sales strategy and their sales team and follow-up numbers. And I got a lot of agreement with this, and you can leave feedback below. But you know, just the basic element of following up. And I always say, look, on average, we found that sales teams, typically follow up about 3 times. And I typically get a lot of agreement when I say that. And I could be talking to a VP sales, I could be talking to a chief revenue officer, it could be somebody who's VP marketing or senior in that area. And I get a lot of agreement on that. They say, yeah, I would say that's about right. So they'll follow up about 3 times and then they'll kick it back and say, oh, it's dead or it's gone dark or whatever. But we found that it takes about 18 contacts in total through the sales journey from start to finish to close the deal. So when you look at that, there's a big discrepancy between how many times people are following up, how many times salespeople are following up, comparative to what it actually takes, how many contacts it really takes to follow up. And I think there's a big misestimation of effort overall through that sales cycle in order to pull that off. And I think that's one of the biggest disappointments, is that people are just simply misestimating what it takes to stay the course, to get all the way through the sales cycle and get a deal done. And misestimating in terms of, assets to put in front of them. It could be third-party endorsements. It could be case studies. It could be value prop material. It could be other things. But it's so important to arm your sales team with everything that they need from when they get the lead all the way through to a closed deal, to encourage that they follow up and follow through that cycle 18 or more times, because follow-up and persistence or perseverance is utterly sacred in sales, and your ROI could simply just be hurting because of the lack of follow-up, whether it's call reluctance or whatever. Sales teams are often running into that, and if they're following up 3 times, it just simply is insufficient. It's just not going to work. And so you have to look at that and kind of go, how can we map out the process? How can we give them tools? How can we give them assets to encourage and give them an excuse to follow up and follow through all the way through the sales cycle? And that alone, just doing that alone, is going to make a difference in your sales numbers. So it's important to really give them tools, to kind of give them an excuse, like send this at that stage and send this at that stage, and here's another thing to follow up on, or whatever. But you really need a sufficient plan through the sales journey to get them to that 18 contacts, so you have a higher probability, higher percentage of that deal closing. So there's something I want to throw out there. Really arming your sales team. And the truth is, it takes assets. Do you have videos that follow through the entire sales journey? Do you have case study PDF material? Do you have sales deck material? Do you have third-party endorsement material, testimonials, and all those different things? Look at those things really, and it's interesting because a lot of companies will put a huge amount of money into driving a lead in the first place. They do the marketing to drive the lead in the first place, but then not the same level of support to finish it. But the only way you make money on it is if you finish it, right? So you have to finish the sale in order to get the money. I know we know that. That's an obvious thing to say, but it's critical. That's the breakdown. So anyway, there's an idea. You can discuss it below, but we handle that with like the campaign strategy and some other tools. So if you have any questions on that, you can shoot a direct message and we'll tackle that as well. If you like it, hit like, and any comments, leave them below. Okay?